Hello, good afternoon, legends. How are we doing? Great to see you all for another day, another stream, another day of excitement, of course. Do make sure before we do anything else, drop a like on the video, or stream, I should say stream, shouldn't I? Drop a like on the stream, and we'll get going, shall we? Let's see who we've got jumping in. We've got Scottish, my man. How we doing? Crypto Bro. Yes, my mate. How is things? Hope you're doing well. Loki coming in again. Great to see you, mate. Currently filling my spot bag, says Crypto Bro. BB. Yes. How we doing? Great to see Coffee. Absolute legend. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's great to see you. Kevin, my man, and Doodylicious says printing red. Gold Sniper, and we got all the regulars in today, haven't we? We've got all the legends, everyone coming in. CMG's 5-min Stonksy strategy mentioned in the Discord is bang on. Going to do a video on it. So good. That is great to hear, mate. Yeah, well. Let me know when you've done the video, mate. Send me over the link, and I will. I'll post it out on the Stonksy Twitter for you, and we'll get it some. We'll get it some good traction. Hopefully, yeah. Should be able to get a couple of 100 views from it. So yeah, let me know, and I'll give you a little nice push on it, which will be fantastic. But obviously, what have we got? We got Bitcoin. I was still failing to break the downwards trend. If we have a look on a daily, you can see it much better. Obviously, had the high, then we've had this candle, obviously printed a little bit lower. So we've got a pattern here of the last couple of days of sloping price action. Now, while this looks obviously like prices being rejected from up here, which it is, I still believe that this, even more, given today's one is following on, I think this gives it even more merit to go up and just clear all these out. Just clear them all out in one fantastic move. So I'm still watching for that. I still favour a sweep above over a breakdown. I still favour something like this. Let me move my toolbox up. I still favour something like this before breakdown. Clear it out, and then something like that. People shouldn't be able to get away with literally just longing right below the other daily high, because literally now the pattern has been price gets up close towards the previous daily high, and you short it, and then you're in profit. So should people be allowed to get away with that? I think is my opinion anyway, that we still go after clearing upside before any possible retracements, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we? It is looking like, I think, better on this pairing here. If we have a look, let me just zoom out. So we've got a couple of things going on, haven't we? Hang on, I don't know why I'm using that. So we've obviously got some horizontal resistance tied in with, we are kind of like flagging out, aren't we, after this move? It is kind of flagging out. So I still favour something like this. Obviously drew this yesterday. I still favour something like this. It's just one push above, obviously clear out all liquidity, maybe towards 90k, something like that. Drop back down, fill the CME gap, obviously come back in for another test of this from above, and then push up, real test the range low. So that's something that I'm still looking for, still waiting for maybe to happen. Obviously at the moment we aren't getting that. We are getting lower sloping price action, but we'll see. Yes, is Sui gonna come down soon? I want to add a bag, but too hot now. If Bitcoin gives a drop, yeah, then it will obviously come down, won't it? It's having its own little party today, though, isn't it? CME gap hit before going over 90k. Well, I don't know. It depends what sort of way you look at it, isn't it? I personally think we do something like this. But if you think maybe we do something like this, then that's perfectly fine. We could also do that. But personally, I'm looking for a run above first, and then looking for that push up in towards the key resistance. But we could also, we could always break down. I think it'll largely depend on what kind of reaction we get over today and tomorrow on the stock market as well. Obviously, yesterday we had the S&P 500 just absolutely nuking down, which dragged Bitcoin down with it. But Bitcoin has held up very well, I think, considering for where Bitcoin's at. The fact that it held up within this range yesterday, given the onslaught that the S&P 500 was getting yesterday, was literally just down only from open. I think it held up well. So, we could do many things. Sui Short says do delicious. Yeah, I think let's check Sui. Up another 4% today. Yeah, it's been rallying, hasn't it? Rallying hard. Really nice trade caught by Stonksy as well. I mean, this is key. This zone is key here, but we also could. So if we look, let's have a look here. Got kind of this point here, haven't we? Where we had support, retest support, breakthrough, come up, retested resistance, broke above, fell back below, retest again, resistance. There'd probably also you could maybe also pin an argument for drawing it there, where prices just fell off. Which may be an interesting point as well. I mean, if we're looking at it, yeah. But, like I said, if we get a retrace on Bitcoin, this thing will probably come back down. Any thoughts on Map MS? Do make sure you all drop a big like on the stream for me. And if you're new, do subscribe. Any thoughts on Map MS? What is that? Doesn't seem like it's on TradingView, my friend. So, no, I'm guessing it maybe it's just on Deck Screener, is it? We've had Salt fall off. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much this might be what's coming for Sui. Obviously, Sol went out on its own, didn't it? Pumped up. Came into where price found resistance along here. And then has obviously started rolling over. So maybe we see the same on Sui. I think Ton's another one that's been having a go. Obviously, for those of you that have been around when I've been looking at Ton, yeah. We obviously came up and swept this news wick here, but we still yet to take any of these. So still yet to take this wick. Still yet to take this wick here. Still obviously yet to move up and take this one. So I don't know, but Ton got again same kind of pattern, isn't it? Just it's just a rally, just an up only rally. Howdy. What time's the news today, mate? What news? What news are you on about? Good day, Brucey. What news are you on about, mate? Are you on about? I think we had some data, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was like key data, was it? Oh, well, we had GDP. We also had jobless claims. I mean, we've got what have we got tomorrow? I think is it PPI or PCE or PCE tomorrow. But today, we've had jobless claims and stuff, but not. It's not red folder, is it? Obviously, this is a recalibration as well of Q4 GDP. But what news are you referring to, mate? Right. So I think that leads us on to obviously the key news story over the past day or so, isn't it? Is hype. So let's have a look at hype. So in terms of price action, just on its own, obviously hype came down, found a bottom here, and then obviously rallied up alongside the rest of the market. Came into supply, and then was falling away from supply, as you can see. And then we obviously had the big event yesterday, which sent it all the way down to test the demand back down here, which obviously where it bounced. So for hype at the moment, this is the trading range. You've got support, resistance, and currently both have obviously held. You know, this is held as supply, this is held as demand. So we might get a bit of choppiness in this range, but you know, you don't want to, in my opinion, you don't want to get chopped up in this. Even if you're looking, if you're looking to trade it, be wary that maybe, any sort of news or, another big trade opened on hype might send the price cascading down again. But we're literally just, if you're looking to trade, how you're just waiting for a few things. You're waiting for price to come back into one of these regions to then play it to the other side, or looking for the breakout or breakdown. And that's it. Anything inside here is risky business. But we did get a huge drop down yesterday. I think we did end up about 20%, something like that. So this is obviously where we went from down to, so nearly 23%. We dropped on hype within a few hours. Now, why did it drop? So for those of, for anyone who's interested or maybe didn't see what happened, let's go and take a look. Here it is. So a trader opened a massive $6 million short position on Jelly Jelly, a small coin that had a 20 million market cap at the time. I think it might have actually been a bit less. This trader deliberately self-liquidated by pumping Jelly Jelly's price on chain, essentially forcing himself out of the trade. Hyperliquid was left holding the toxic short position currently at the time, obviously this guy tweeted it out, it was minus 10 million P&L. Jelly Jelly pumped from 10 million market cap to 50 million in under an hour due to the forced squeeze. Now, this was the key thing yesterday. Hyperliquid could face full liquidation if Jelly Jelly reached $150 market cap yesterday, which was a 3x away, obviously at the highs. Now, this obviously ended up resolving itself because Hype was able to get out of the trade. They then obviously delisted Jelly and kind of got away safe from it. So it is Hyperliquid's comment on it all. After evidence of suspicious market activity, the validator set convened and voted to delist Jelly. All users apart from flagged addresses will be made whole from the Hyper Foundation. This will be done automatically in the coming days based on on-chain data. There's no need to open a ticket, blah, blah, blah. Now, Hype actually made money yesterday. But then obviously we've had since a bit of, Hype's meant to be decentralized, but is anything actually decentralized in crypto apart from Bitcoin? Then we've had the CEO of BitGet. I believe is she the CEO? Yeah, BitGet. Yeah, CEO BitGet. Say Hyperliquid may be on track to become FTX 2.0. The way it handled Jelly incident was immature. Blah 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 blah. Now you can look at this a few ways, can't you? There's definitely a few ways to look at this. You've got one that hype is supposed to be decentralized, and they pretty much just scrambled to the rescue, because if it would have pumped even harder, the whole Hyperliquid, is it called HLP or something? Oh yeah, HLP, the Hyperliquid Liquidity Pool, I'm guessing that stands for, could have been liquidated fully. But you've also got the thing of Hyperliquid is a threat to sexes. So the more people trade on something like Hyperliquid, a decentralized exchange, decentralized perps, the more money that's taken away from the pockets of centralized exchanges. So, the centralized exchanges feel threatened by Hyperliquid, maybe. Now, there's a few facts that you can also put into that. ZachXBT tweeted out that the funds that was used on the Jelly trade on Hyperliquid was withdrawn from Binance and OKX. Now, what's interesting is pretty much very soon after all this, Jelly got listed on Binance and OKX for perps trading, like very, very quickly. So it's quite interesting what happened, and maybe like what the intentions of a potential individual was by doing this. But there potentially may be more trouble for Hype, because there's also a few more coins like Jelly that's on there for trading. You've got these are all low caps. You've got Myro, Nero, one called Catty, and then a few other ones as well, which are all low caps, which could potentially put Hyperliquid in the same position as yesterday, where if the same person or maybe someone else does the same thing, Hyperliquid could potentially be on track to be liquidated, which is interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting. So that's currently where we're at. The prices since. So from the bottom ticker, it's up nearly basically 17%, but still down. Let's see. So from yesterday, it's still down 9%. So it's recovered quite well. It's recovered more than half of the losses. But what is everyone's thoughts on this? What does everyone think? Does everyone think, maybe Hyperliquid, we might see another one of these, potentially today, tomorrow, over the weekend, something? Do you think that, we might see another coin targeted on Hyperliquid to try and do the same thing? Do you think maybe, it was orchestrated by someone or a group of individuals that feel threatened by Hyperliquid? Or what's everyone's thoughts on it? I thought it was absolutely fascinating to watch. Let's see what Jelly's done. I imagine it's probably gone back to where it started. Very close, isn't it? Yeah, very close. So from the top, down 68%. But from the bottom, from where that candle opened, it did end up going pretty much 600%, which is a 7x, isn't it? But yeah, fascinating stuff. Oh, we've got Orca. Orca up to... Oh, look at this. So Orca's looking like it's making a pump back up. Quite interesting, really, Orca, because obviously we had this huge pump on it. It's not really gone that close to where it started, has it? It would have, from where Orca has so far bottomed out, it still needed to drop another 33% to get down there. But it's looking like, obviously, it's had a really decent short squeeze earlier today. And potentially, we might be getting more of a short squeeze. So that's one to keep an eye on. I hadn't noticed that until just now. But what's everyone's opinion on the whole Hyperliquid thing? Disclosure Kids, look at... I don't know what that is, mate. Sorry. I don't know what that is. But we are falling down a little bit, aren't we, on Bitcoin? Oh, nice long caught by Stonksy here. Nice short caught by Stonksy. So we are falling down a little bit as we're heading into the open now. Let's get the live stream going. The live stream, the poll going. Right, do make sure you get your vote in. It's a liquidity project, so I'm curious to know your thoughts on it. Sorry, well, I did type it in on TradingView and it wasn't there. Let's see. Yeah, very, very funny. No, I'm not typing it in on Google. No, I just typed it in on CoinMarketCap, and it's a $4,000 market cap. Right, I'm just gonna put you on a timeout now. Yeah, that whatever that was, make sure anyone watching this, do not go and check that out. Do not do it. Do not go and check that out. That is just an outright someone trying to scam, pretty much. So yeah, don't go and check that out. But yeah, right. Let me know in the chat what you all want me to look at, or what your thought. Anyone in any trades? What's your feelings on the market? Let me know. We've got half an hour until US Open. We've obviously covered Bitcoin. What's happening with Bitcoin? We've looked at hype, jelly. The possibility that, you know, we could see another one of these trades open very soon. I mean, it would be interesting to see. So the next one up on the list in terms of like lowest to highest market cap. So the next lowest one was Miro. I wonder if maybe some of these have pumped a little bit on the back of maybe people expecting another one to happen. Let's see. Don't look like it, does it? No. It doesn't look like it. I wonder what Miro's done, actually, because I remember Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not too good, is it? I mean, even back in when everything got the pump. So it looks like Miro's completely dead. In terms of a meme coin, looks like Miro is completely dead. It's come back right to the origin on MEXC. And to be fair, it's held, but I mean... So it'll be interesting to see what happens, though. Somebody's got Pi up 6% today. Pi's another one, isn't it? I'm gutted that I didn't short Pi. Does anyone remember on stream when we were looking at the launch of Pi? And I was looking to short it on a sweep of the wick, and it pretty much got all the way up there. Should have shorted it. It would have been in great profit now. ZRO's on the way back up nearly 6% today. Obviously, huge rally, very strong rally throughout this month. Then we've had the pullback, and it looks like it's going to go again. Cow's doing all right. Everything's kind of just chugging away, isn't it? Dimitri is on a Sol long. Dude, Delicious says, we going down, boys. Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I would just be a little bit disappointed because I just wanted one simple One very simple sweep. So all I wanted was just a sweep of the Monday high, which is here, which is obviously the high of the week so far. I just wanted one simple sweep to get in, to ride it down. But no. Not got it so far. Put the arrow on that. That's strange, isn't it? Look at that. I didn't know you could do that. Just make it. Whoa. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Just one very simple sweep. Take out liquidity from the upside. Run the stops. And then slam it down. But it looks like, yeah, maybe we're not even going to get there. So maybe this was the opportune chance here. It might be a case of waiting for the long now. But I still have faith. I mean, my plan isn't changed, and I won't go and short it here for no reason. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah. Let's map out the CME gap on this chart. So 85,135 to 84,185. I mean, we could use 85,135. Which chart shall we use? Let's use this one. Right, 85,135. And then it is 84,185. Right, so this is the CME gap. So, couple things we can obviously have happen. We can have what I'm hoping for, a run of the highs, then slam it back down into here. Then we come in, fully close the CME gap or whatever. I think the thing is, the monthly open has been resistance for that long. Now we haven't obviously got long of the monthly open to go because it is 1st of April on Tuesday, isn't it? So we've got about 5 days left of it, something like that. I think if we were going to close the CME gap, I think it would happen in one quick wick. So I think we've had a quick wick down, and then we'd have to recover the monthly open, and then maybe then go on higher. That's option one. Option two would be just to run it down now. Maybe we don't even close the CME gap fully. Maybe we leave some of it open. I don't know. And then run it back up. But pretty much it's either drop first or drop second. Hello, Debut. How we doing, my friends? Fartcoin thoughts? Let's have a look at Fartcoin. Do make sure you all drop a like on the stream, subscribe, and if you're looking to take any trades today or looking for the best place to trade, you can create a non-KYC account at BLOFIN with the first link in the description. You get yourself some nice welcome bonuses as well. So let's go and have a look at Fartcoin. It's up another 6% today. So it moved exceptionally well, didn't it? It moved exceptionally well to bounce back up from here. If we look at it on a daily chart, it's moved very nicely, but it's also moved into quite some key SR. So I think if we're looking at it, what would I expect from here? Well, at the moment, obviously, it's rejecting from the same place. Obviously, when price came down here, it found support, dropped below, and then we had just constant rejection in here. Rejection, rejection, rejection. Price is doing the same thing now, rejecting, rejecting, rejecting. So it's pretty clear that we need to reclaim here for more upside. Alternatively, we could come down. Now, where would we come down to? On the daily, this looks like a nice little area potentially. Let's have a look on the 4-hour. Yeah, I think where Stonksy has got this outlined would be very, very nice. So like a pull into here. Well, that's exactly where Stonksy has got that major support line, Drew, anyway. So maybe something like this. Could always drop below as well. But if you're just looking at levels to watch, yeah, I mean, I think we need to break above here. I think that's pretty clear. But if you notice, it's pretty much just doing exact same pattern as Bitcoin. Just it looks like it's just flagging out. So it might, well, alongside the rest of the market, it might just probably depend on what Bitcoin does. But yeah, that's my thought. You know, we break above this zone that we're currently rejecting from. Opens the door to new highs, new local highs, that is. And then, yeah, if we come down, I would expect a bounce from in here. If we don't, then maybe we come back down a bit deeper. Bro, I have a question for you. Which coin do you think will outperform ETH? Well, most things have outperformed ETH, haven't they? Most things have outperformed ETH. I think, obviously, this is not financial advice because nothing is financial advice. But I think you could pick a handful that would outperform ETH. I mean, is Sui going to outperform ETH? Probably. Maybe. Is Tong going to outperform ETH? Well, it has been, you know, for the past, 2 weeks, yeah? So I think there's a lot where you could pick that will outperform ETH. The thing is with ETH, even if it was to get some mojo back, you know, if it was to get some mojo back, where could you see it going to? To its all-time high is only a 2.5x. You know, to up towards 5k is a 2.5x. You're telling me if ETH rallies 150%, that something like Sui or Ton or whatever it may be isn't going to do at least 150%. You would imagine it would. So, I mean, it all depends on perspective, doesn't it? But I think you could pick a very large basket full of coins that will outperform ETH. I see people trying to push the fat coin on base. Not sure it'll beat the OG on Solana. Oh, the OG is always the best. The OG will always do the best, in my opinion. Fat coin has too many longs. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine it does. I can imagine it needs a deep flush. Thanks, brother. No worries. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's anything too technical, would you? You just look at history. You know, you just look at historically what has everything done against ETH pretty much. You know, that's, you know, with a decent, not talking about memes or anything. We're talking about, you know, everything that's in sort of like the top 20, 25, 30, maybe even up to 50. What have most of them done? Probably outperformed ETH. Well, actually, maybe some of them haven't, to be fair. Maybe some of them haven't, but I bet even if they haven't outperformed ETH, they're very, very close. So, yeah, I mean, ETH's another funny one, isn't it? You know, again, we've got this descending trend line. You've got key macro SR at 2,100. You've then got this zone where price put in an SR flip. There's a massive handful of things, isn't there, going on with ETH. But it still can't get a kick. It still can't get a kick up. Even with Bitcoin not too far. I mean, you can just tell, can't you? You know, relative to obviously here where Bitcoin topped out and ETH topped out. Look what's happened to ETH ever since. It's just tumbled away. Where you look at Bitcoin. And yeah, it's fell a little bit, but it's still, you know, it's still up there, isn't it? For how long, I don't know. There seems to be a concentrate to keep Bitcoin under 100k. It's a conspiracy. Concentrated effort. I don't know about that. I think it's just the market doing its thing. But yeah, I mean, the S&P 500 is falling again as we roll into market open. As we can see, we are rolling off. So, is it going to be a red day? I mean, potentially this is the day, you know, obviously if we get another fall off on the S&P like we did yesterday, that potentially may rip the plaster off for Bitcoin, and maybe we do just tumble in towards the CME gap. It's not even that far away, is it? It sounds far away, but not really. Like, from what Bitcoin's fell from obviously like this high to where it is now, it will probably round about be that again until we get to the CME gap. So potentially we fall away. Who knows? Let's see what the poll is doing. I've got 50-50. Do make sure you get your voting on this poll before we get market open. We've got just under 15 minutes to go until market open. I'll tell you what, I have got a throbbing head today. Throbbing headache. What shall we look at in the meantime? Should we check to see if there's anything interesting going on in the world? Let's see. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETP key for EU adoption. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was some interesting news about Tether, wasn't there? I seen that. I think a couple of like US states are creating their own. I think as Trump created one, it's called like USD1 or something. But I think a few US states are creating their own stable coins as well. Trump's one's listing on well, it's going to be native to ETH, I think. But while the market is struggling, obviously inversely the stable coin, you know, topic and market seems to be absolutely thriving. There's not really much going on in the world, is there? There was obviously this meme coin sort of thing. I didn't keep up with that. I can't keep up with some of this fast moving stuff. Robinhood offers to Uber Cash to customers and have AI give trading advice. Yeah, there's not really much going on, is there? Should we have a look? I tell you what will actually be interesting. Should we have a look at what GME is doing? Oh, it's fell off massively, hasn't it? Look at that. Look at that. So obviously, when it announced it was adding it was going to buy Bitcoin, it shot up, didn't it? From here up to here. So that's where it closed on Tuesday. That's where it opened on Wednesday. And then obviously traded throughout these levels on Wednesday. And pre-market, it's already back down here. So it's literally closed the gap pretty much already. Pre-market, it's already back to $25. So nothing even really exciting going on with GameStop. Let's see what the Mag 7 is doing pre-market. We've obviously got... I'll tell you what, we should really have... What is the ticker for this? What is the ticker for the... Mags? Is that it? Mags? I feel like that's it, isn't it? Yeah, I think that is it. Let me pull this up. Doesn't seem to want to come up. Yeah, so the Magnificent 7, as in the ETF, is down a little bit. But what have we got? Pre-market in general, we've got Nvidia down another couple of points. Wow. So it closed minus 5.74% yesterday and is down another 2 points today. We've got Apple around the same levels. Meta. Oh, Meta's took a big hit. Meta has took a big hit. Down to 603. So nearly close to dropping below $600 again. We've got Microsoft actually up a little bit. We've got Amazon down again. Tesla's up a little bit pre-market. And we've got Google down a little bit. So interesting across all of them. But that it looks like, obviously Nvidia maybe is definitely pulling it down a little bit. But Bitcoin is doing its best, isn't it? It's doing its best to stay up. Might get some clarity on Atkins getting SEC job today. Some nomination hearing it too. All right, okay. That should be quite interesting, I think. Should be quite interesting. I mean, I do think we're going to get Bitcoin to shove one way or another before the week's out because we've got monthly close, got month end on Monday, haven't we? Oh, look at that drop. Yeah, we got monthly close, obviously, on Monday, but leading up to that, yeah. It's interesting. Maybe we do just completely rip it down. Maybe it will just completely drop off. But I think, well, actually, no. Yesterday it dumped, didn't it? Pre-US Open and then rallied and then obviously just dumped again. So are we going to see the same thing or are we going to dump into the Open and then pump? Again, we need the S&P 500 to kind of shore itself up a little bit. We need it to shore itself up a little bit and provide some stability for Bitcoin to squeeze if it's going to do it. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't have any active trades on the stream account. Obviously, this is what I was waiting for. Just a clearance to the upside. But you can still see, you know, what am I doing here? You can still see like the significance of the range. Now, obviously, yesterday we fell out of it, but we did sweep the previous daily low and then obviously bounced. But I mean, will it get away with it again? I think if it's going to go down here, it probably just be pulled down here. But if you're looking at it on here, so let's go to the 1 hour chart. And I don't know why we've suddenly just started charting this on BLOFIN, but we have. You can see the significance of this area, which ties into be the month around the monthly open. If we make that blue. So it looks kind of clean, doesn't it? When you chart it on So this is something I'd probably be expecting, which would close the CME gap, and then maybe come up and look to take all them stops out across here. So maybe they're just being left for later on. It might just be that they're being left for later on. So we rip it down first, look to bounce around, you know, 84k-ish. And then go after these stops and liquidity above. But I don't think it doesn't look like I'm gonna get the perfect the entry I was looking at. Live stream for it is on the Banking Senate Gov website under hearings. I'd post a link, but I imagine it. Yeah, I don't think anyone's allowed to post links. How much significance has that got, though? How much significance does it have? Would it really do anything to the market, do you think? Oh, don't tell me that this is frozen. Yeah, this is frozen. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Wait there. What a time for it to freeze. Command Option Escape. Right, I'm back. I've been froze for a second then. Right, so we are coming down. Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? Potentially, we're going to do something like this. Which, oops, what have I done there? Which, if it is the case that we're not going to get the entry and we're going to go down, what will I be looking for? So I would probably... Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. So I'll be looking for, if we are going to come down before we potentially sweep upside. Let's do it on here, actually, yeah. So we've got the CME gap. I think I would be looking for something like this. So if you said to me, okay, David, what do you think maybe the next week of price action looks like, or, you know, the next week and a half, 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever, I would say if we're going to, then this is if we're going to come down and we're not going to bounce and go up. I'd say we come down into this SR, monthly open overside retest, maybe slightly wick down quickly to close the CME gap. Then maybe push up, take all these stops and liquidity above here. Then it's my personal opinion that we're not going to go here straight away. So I think probably like anywhere between like 90k and below. So say like here, we trap buyers and late longers. We then come up, go back down, and then fall off. That would be what I would say. Again, just my thoughts and what have you. Looks like we'll be seeing long red candle today. Nice return to origin on Bitcoin. Hold previous day's low and send it back up. Well, that's what happened yesterday, wasn't it? We swept, obviously, the previous day low here. A little bit deep, to be fair. It wasn't just a sweep. It was a full move, full drop. But we are applying a bit of pressure to the downside, aren't we? But, I mean, how can people just get, like, the fact that these potentially might get away with this and just all these stops that you just know are residing all the way up here. Yeah, I think we probably maybe get something like this. If we do this, I mean, my preference was we squeeze up first so I could short it, then long it, and then short the retest of the range low. So it would have been bang, back up, bang, to wherever. That was it. In the ideal world, that's what I was thinking. Right, we are open. So let's see what we've got in store. People still thinking we'll go back to the mid-70s CME before up again. The mid-70s CME is closed. That got closed. It got fully closed on the second drop down. I think it's still possible that we could go down there just organically, though. I mean, really, when you just go and look at Bitcoin, it's entirely possible that this is just a new trading range now. So it's entirely possible that this, is potentially the trading range for the next couple of months, moving into summer and stuff. Who's to say that we can't just chop, in here for whatever before, moving into like September, October, November, December. Who's to say that we can't just do that? We could definitely. I mean, really, we're either going to go back up, come down, or chop sideways, aren't we? There's only really 3 outcomes. Oh, yeah. See, that's what I mean. We're not even that far away, are we? We could easily get this today. It's entirely possible that we get this today. Why not? The S&P is absolutely toasting itself. We are dropping huge on the S&P straight out the gates again. Nvidia down 2%. Apple down hardly anything. Meta, obviously a big hit today. Tesla's actually up. So I think Tesla was the first one to drop down, wasn't it? It had that big drop down. So, I mean, are things going to shore up? I don't know. But I mean, Nvidia, yeah. We need stability on this to let Bitcoin squeeze, otherwise it's just going to be dragged down. It wouldn't even be that much of a drop, would it? To potentially come into here, we could pretty much what we've done from here downwards. You know, from what we've done since, you know, about 10 o'clock today to now, we'd only really need to do like that again and maybe a tiny little bit more. And then bang, CME gap would be closed. We'd have a monthly open overside retest. And then potentially, you know, if we hold there, we start building a low time frame base to then squeeze back up. But we've just tagged the weekly open. But yeah, Stonksy's catching this move very, very nicely. Do make sure you all drop a big like on the stream if you haven't already, and do subscribe. Let's see how many likes we've got. How many likes do we have? 15 likes. Oh, come on, guys. We can do better than that. We've got 36. Just dropped 2 viewers. We've got 36 people watching. Let's get that up to about 25 likes. Did you take the short on Stonksy, Dave? No, I didn't. No, I didn't, mate. I was busy hard at work this morning, so I wasn't really even paying that much attention to what the market was doing. But the 5-minute has been on fire recently, especially these ones where you get the change and then you get a bullish confirmation after. So obviously this changed green and then we got the bullish confirmation. This changed red, then we got the bearish confirmation. The 5-minute chart with these arrows has been absolutely on fire when you get the same color confirmation straight like soon after. If you do want to get Stonksy today, you can get 20% off your first month if you want to come and try us for a month. So you get full indicator access to the Discord server, and you get whitelisted for the trading bots, which we run via BLOFIN. You can find that link in the description with the discount code as well. I clicked the like button twice, Dave. Very funny. Very funny. Well, make sure you click it again. Does Stonksy work on all exchanges? So Stonksy is... So this is obviously on TradingView, so you get access on TradingView. But the part that is inputted into an exchange is the trading bot. So we run that via BLOFIN. So Stonksy, the trading bot is ran via BLOFIN. Apart from that, it's not connected to any exchanges. So this is obviously on TradingView at the moment. But yeah, like I said, if you want to come, if you never tried Stonksy before, I know it sounds maybe debut master, maybe it sounds like I've seen you in the stream a few times as well, mate. but maybe sounds like you've never tried Stonksy before. If you want to try Stonksy, yeah, you can get 20% off. So that is second link in the description, and you'll find the code, the discount code in there as well. BOT20. However, obviously that is when you're signing up on the monthly plan with fiat. If you do want to pay in crypto, you can. So when you go to this page, so obviously come on the Stonksy website, click start now. Obviously for the monthly option, this is where you'll pay in fiat, so you know, debit card, whatever. But if you do want to get the BOT20 discount by paying in crypto, just click this big email address button here and just say, hi, you know, I'd like to get the monthly with the BOT20 discount, and I'd like to pay USDT on Solana or whatever, and we can sort it out via that. Obviously this the discount is applied through checkout with fiat. This button here will take you to a crypto payment portal, but obviously we can't apply a discount on that like we can quite simply through Stripe. So yeah, if you do want to get the discount while paying in crypto, just click the email address button and email us in. But yeah, great offer, and it won't last forever. So you know, now if you do want to try Stonksy, now's your time. But yeah, Bitcoin is really rolling over now, so we're not that far away from taking out yesterday's low. We got Florin. Good day, everyone. Hello. So you got TMG in the house. TMG is in the chat. This is great. Good trade so far. I think it will get better. Yeah, Stonksy's got a great. Well, the 5-minute chart has been fantastic, hasn't it? Of recent, been absolutely incredible when it comes to hitting these swings on Bitcoin. Does the bot on BLOFIN alternate both long and short trades dependent on the indicator? Yeah, it does. It takes either direction in the market. Yeah. Let's see if Bitcoin holds here. Interesting. I haven't got that red arrow down and confirmation on 5 minutes on my Stonksy. So it depends what settings you're using, Scotty. So if you go into your Stonksy settings, I use sensitivity 8 and confirmation period 1. That's what I found to be the best. So I don't know what yours will be on, mate. You'll have to go and have a look. But yeah, for anyone, you know, for these bullish and bearish hours, I find sensitivity 8, confirmation period 1 is really nice for, especially, I've been looking at this 5-minute pattern where you get the color change and then obviously the confirmation soon after. And it's been working out really, really well so far. But yeah, we've not got really too much to go now, have we? We are pulling into that CME gap. So yeah, here's the CME gap outlined here. So we're not really too far away from starting to push into it. Obviously, we've got the monthly open, which has acted as strong resistance throughout March, which should give us a nice SR test. If we go zoom out, you know, for coming in, closing that CME gap while also coming in, testing the monthly open from the upside, whilst, you know, obviously coming in to test this zone from the upside as well. So we'll see, won't we? We will see. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. For anyone else that was watching then, I assume maybe a few others have gone and changed it. That's what I found to be the best anyway, them settings for the arrows. Stonksy is doing good. Yeah, Stonksy has been doing fantastic recently. Obviously, for those of you that are on the bot as well, look where it closed it. So obviously one of the bots follows the 1 hour chart. We opened at 85,200 ish. We then rode the move up, came out of it this morning, and obviously avoided this drawdown now. So if we're going to get a full retrace of this move, Stonksy's closed this hourly absolutely bang on. But yeah, we're absolutely nuking down on the S&P, aren't we? So this is what's driving the Bitcoin dump as well. Just pretty much just pouring fuel on the fire. Just pouring fuel on the fire with the S&P. Absolutely dumb. I mean, if we go to the hourly chart, it did nothing but dump yesterday. Obviously, this was on open and then just bang, just dump down. We're now coming to a point where, obviously, this is the low. Maybe we're going to get some mean reversion. Obviously, Stonksy's got this point outlined as a key support level on the hourly. Which, yeah, looks right to me. I mean, yeah, you know, support. We're currently testing the weekly open on the S&P and the Monday low. Which, this is exactly what I wanted on Bitcoin. So for the past couple of days when I've been talking about Bitcoin getting a sweep maybe towards about 90k, then dropping down. This is exactly what I wanted on Bitcoin was, obviously got the Monday high here. Then price came up, swept the Monday high, trapped longs, and then puked. Now, if we go and have a look at Bitcoin, that's exactly the scenario I wanted on Bitcoin. Obviously, got Monday high here. The scenario I've been waiting for was price to pull up, move into here, maybe consolidate a little bit, trap longs, thinking that we're going to blow, straight back up to maybe a range low retest or higher, and then rip it down, which obviously never came. But that was what I was waiting for. Right, just getting a quick drink and then we'll carry on. Just asked a question about Stonksy, Dave, in chat above. Lee, I'm sure some of your messages don't come through, I don't know why. I can't see any other comment from you, mate. Rug, why is it dumping? What's the reason? Nvidia's down 1.5%. Meta's down 1.16%. Microsoft's down 0.5%. Tesla's actually up 1.8%. But the Mag 7 index ETF, sorry. Yeah, it's down 0.33%. But why is the S&P 500 dumping? It came into here, which, yeah, I thought was quite a key little area on the chart. So as you can see, plenty of SR around it. Specifically, of recent. Obviously, we had price holding here, support. Drop below, then turn to resistance. So we literally just had price trade into resistance, and then fell off. So obviously, we've had like a relief bounce, whatever you want to call it, dead cat bounce if you like, whatever. But we've literally just had the S&P 500 relief into key SR, rejection, and tailing off. So that's why we've fallen off there, which has obviously dragged Bitcoin down with it. I mean, Bitcoin itself, if we go and look at the daily chart, you can see the lack of follow through on Bitcoin. So if you look at the daily, we obviously came up here, high. Then day later, we had inability to push through. Day later, inability to push through. Today, inability to push through. And each time, it looks like, obviously, if if price doesn't go back up here today, each time it's just been getting lower and lower and lower. Failure to even go and sweep the previous daily high. So it's just looks like momentum's dried up. There's no follow through on the price. We got some people. Will it bounce or time to sell? I am not a financial advisor, so I mean, personally, I wouldn't. I don't think you'd be kind of in no man's land if you were shorting here, wouldn't you? You know, you'd be shorting where price bounced yesterday. You're not further enough down to catch the closure of the CME gap. We have swept yesterday's low and bouncing, so this is obviously something that happened yesterday. We did go a little bit deeper, but it was quite fast. But obviously you can see here we had the Tuesday low. Then yesterday we got a move down, swept it, then immediately V-reversed. Whereas today's a little bit more of a controlled sweep, you can see. So obviously yesterday we dropped, you know, quite a few more $100 down below the Tuesday low before bouncing, where today has been more of a controlled sweep at the moment. We've obviously just come down, swept it, and then a bouncing. So, yeah, I mean, really, when you look at it, which chart is it I've got this Drew on? Is it this one? Yeah, we're just flagging out anyway, so we're just in a channel. At the moment, we're just in a channel. So really, it looks like at the moment price is just coming down and testing the lower end of the channel and potentially bouncing, which maybe, let me just get rid of here and here and here. So if price holds here, so if Bitcoin holds here and doesn't go any lower, and this was it, which it looks like maybe because the S&P is getting great absorption on this open fall off. If Bitcoin holds here, we potentially then moving up for another test of resistance at the top of the channel, which then would be maybe the time that we break it and then go up. So there's definitely a few scenarios that we could have. Yeah, I can't see any of yours. Save a crypto either. I don't know what you've put. Tariffs. Do you think it will go down? What is the reason for what? The reason for it to go down, I think it would just be what we've just covered then, lack of follow through, lack of follow through around 88k. If price is constantly punching a level, punching a level and can't go through, then momentum is going to fall off, isn't it? So then the only logical place is down then. Whereas like here, we've had the fall off. Now if price is going to hold and there's no follow through to the downside to go and close the CME gap, the logical place then is, right, okay, well, if we're still within this channel, if we're treating it as a channel, and there's no follow through to the downside, the logical place now is, okay, well, let's squeeze some shorts, move back towards the top of the channel. Going to 84,200. So you're looking at the CME gap, I imagine, now. Okay, that's great information, Saber Crypto. Does Stonksy want to go short on the weekly or the daily? Well, there's no trade on the daily. There's been no trade on the daily for a while in terms of background color change, but weekly it's still green. Oh, that's the monthly. Weekly we asked. Oh, are we? Wait, where's the week? Is that it? Oh yeah, I thought that was a candle then. It's not. It's a drawing. So the weekly's still green. all my comments are being deleted. Really annoying. I do have settings on. No, it depends what you're trying to say, Lee. It depends what you're trying to say, because I have obviously filters in the comments for the comments. So, you know, people aren't allowed to just say whatever they want. It depends what you're trying to say. What is it you're trying to say? Is there a different way you could phrase it, or what? I will go and have a look. I'll go and have a look at the banned words and banned sort of stuff. Nothing to do with politics or what Trump is saying. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if he is talking now or not. I have no idea. Is he speaking now or something? I don't know. I'll go and have a look to see if there's been any announcements. Like, if there is, then I imagine we'll. Let's see. No, that was yesterday. Doesn't. Is there anything on CSE? Oh. That is yourself. Anything on CSE? Doesn't seem so. Not that I can see anyway. Doesn't seem like there's been any sort of major news. Looks like it was just maybe a routine pullback into the channel. I think the main thing is that just looks like a routine pullback, just routine price action within the channel, isn't it? By the looks of it, anyway. On BLOFIN, I can see Stonkbot on copy trade, but I haven't got Stonkbot. Why is this? Have you sent us your UID number? I suppose that's my first question. Have you sent us your UID number? Go on X, have a look. Yeah, I've just done that. I've just gone and had a look. Doesn't seem like there's anything. Nothing majorly reported across where you would typically where you'd typically see it anyway. I mean, I could check one more guy. I could check. This guy is normally quite good for news as well. I mean, maybe this, but I mean, if anything, I wouldn't say it was this, because this is bullish for Tesla, isn't it? And like any other US car companies that are in the S&P 500. Oh no, Ford down 1.6, General Motors down 9. So maybe that's got something to do with it, I don't know. But maybe that's why Tesla's up. General Motors is a US company. It seems like I think it is, isn't it? I don't know. But maybe that's why Tesla's up today, based on this. So maybe that's got something to do with the S&P 500 sell-off today. From that, I don't know. This is quite an interesting piece of information. So US companies holding Bitcoin. So this was as of 31st of December, so obviously end of the year. So this is obviously a bit delayed for MicroStrategy, which has obviously bought loads more since. But it's interesting to look at, isn't it? Got Clean Spark there, right behind Tesla, then Block. But we are moving back up on Bitcoin, are we? Yeah, moving back up on Bitcoin. Let's go to the 5-minute. So for now, we're moving back up on Bitcoin, which, surprise, surprise, we're getting a full retrace on the S&P 500 dump, which is giving the move back up on Bitcoin. So the two are just like that at the moment, aren't they? They're just like that at the moment. You know, if we get S&P 500 relief and, you know, price bounces or at least just steadies, then Bitcoin has the chance to squeeze higher. If we get, an aggressive dump like we got today on open, it's going to take Bitcoin with it. So we have to be. No, I haven't, Dave. Well, yeah, you'll have to DM me your UID number or SMFC, mate. DM me or SMFC your BLOFIN UID number, which you find in your BLOFIN profile, and then you'll get whitelisted for the bot. I open along at 86.2. Didn't you do the same yesterday as well, Steampunk? You did, didn't you? Yeah, I recognise your picture from in the Discord. You longed the dip yesterday as well, didn't you? Did you say yesterday you got in? I remember you saying, was it like 86 or something you got in yesterday? And then obviously rode the pump up. I recognise your picture though from in the Discord. Do make sure you all drop a big like on the stream, please. And if you are new, subscribe. But if you're looking to take any trade today, you can find the link to BLOFIN, first link in the description. You get some nice welcome bonuses. And, of course, it's non-KYC, so you just create an account with an email. ETH is, dropped all the way back below 2K before. So we've got ETH. Actually, ETH Bitcoin is up slightly today, up 0.35%. Got BNB up 2.5%. Toncoin is going back to the upside now. Obviously, rallying to the upside. Then we had a little pullback, and then it's carrying on now by the looks of it. Are they up 3% today? Tier up just over 3%. Obviously, Pi we covered before. What's that up 5 there? ZRO. So, yeah, ZRO. Nice relative strength over the past couple of weeks. Oh, yeah, we are pushing now, aren't we? We are pushing on Bitcoin. So we are completing kind of the same pattern as on the S&P, you know, just a standard V reversal. So if we can push up, let's go and have a look. Obviously, that's a really, really nice lower wick on the S&P there. Shows strong buy-in absorption. So buyers stepping in, obviously dragging the price back up, creating this long low wick. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, maybe we come. There's obviously a fair value gap here after the drop down yesterday. So potentially we come back up on the S&P, which should give Bitcoin, in theory, you know, if we get a push back towards here, you know, maybe 5,750, somewhere like that, maybe even come and retest the highs. In theory, that should give Bitcoin the room it needs to come up and obviously maybe retest the top of this channel or potentially break above and start heading, you know, to take out stops and liquidity above all these highs. Let's have a look what the Mag 7's doing now. Yeah, so some of them have turned positive. So we've obviously had Microsoft go in green. Again, you can see the candles on these. Tesla's pushing up more. Nvidia's looking to potentially move back into the green for the day after opening all the way down here. So it might end up that was just being, you know, a dump continuation from yesterday to come and take out yesterday's buyers. And now we're going to maybe push up through the rest of the session. It's entirely possible. But yeah, I mean, Bitcoin, just standard, isn't it? Just standard liquidity sweep here. Very controlled and nice, but also just respecting the channel. Held the channel low. So that's where we currently are. Just going to grab another quick drink. Steampunk says, as long as they introduce some car series outside US and let them get back for... Right, yeah. But let me know. Is anyone... Obviously, we've had Steampunk said he was in the long. I'm guessing Loki. I'm guessing you're still in your long. I doubt that you've been shaken off. Anyone else in any longs? Or shorts? Just any trades at all? Let me know in the chat. So Loki is still long, targeting 92k. You're targeting the underside retest. Delicious is short on Sui again. Well, we rejected from the monthly open before. Let's come and have a look at Sui again. We've obviously got the monthly open there, yeah, so pinpoint rejection on the monthly open. I mean, obviously a lot higher up. I think this zone is quite key in terms of SR. But I think Stonksy has got, looking at it, I think Stonksy's got it quite well laid out at this 292 level as the next level of resistance higher. But I mean, it all depends on what Bitcoin's going to do, isn't it? You know, if Bitcoin is going to steady up a bit, maybe even push up. Sui's, you know, got good strength in the market this week. So maybe we'd expect it to go higher. Kind of need Bitcoin to line up with really beating this momentum down a bit. But then, I mean, that wasn't the best 4-hour candle, was it? That it put in previously. So, yeah, maybe there's something there. One minute's done really well there, hasn't it? Now, this is kind of what... I think this is kind of what happened yesterday, wasn't it? Where did we open? Yeah, we opened here on this candle. Came down and this candle offered relief. And then that was quickly absorbed. And then we carried on down, which is kind of obviously not exactly the same, but we've come down. This candle's offering relief. Are we going to continue up, or is this going to be maybe a repeat of yesterday? And got stopped out later with 60% profit. Well, that's good, mate. You know, you stopped out in profit. Nothing wrong with that. 60% profit. Very nice, mate. Very nice. Nicely played. Yeah, for anyone who is interested in getting Stonksy, you can get it with 20% off today. So that's bot20. You find the link in the description. It's the second link. The code is also put next to it, sorry. And yeah, you get full indicator access to the Discord server, and get whitelisted for the trading bot on BLOFIN. So for 20% off, come and try us. I imagine if you're watching the stream, you maybe have been looking to get it if you haven't already. So now is your time to take advantage. But yeah, maybe it might be a similar story to yesterday, where we get some relief, and then what are we getting on the S&P? Let's go down to the 5-minute. No, see, the S&P's looked all right. It's not really shaken that much since it got the V reversal. It's Bitcoin that is seeing some downward pressure apply now. I doubt, well, yeah, I mean, we could come down, couldn't we? Maybe consolidate low time frame and then go back up, but I wonder, let's see if there's been any more news. So I think it's more tariff talk, isn't it? Trump's 25% tariff could add 5 to 10k to car prices. Macron speaking to Trump. Trump's tariffs policy is inflationary. Europeans will respond by reciprocating. So maybe it's a bit of tariff talk as well. Obviously, Macron saying the EU is probably going to add reciprocal tariffs to the US, which I think they already had tariffs on anyway, but obviously just raising it to the same level. I can't remember what figure Trump said he put on the EU. I think it was 25% maybe or something, depending on what goods they are. No more, already raised my stop loss. Nice, mate, nice. It's good practice, isn't it? It's good practice when you enter a trade and you go into profit where you've got a bit of wiggle room. You know, move your stop loss to entry, then the trade is risk-free. You know, you're not risking losing anything, maybe apart from, you know, a little bit on fees. But it's good practice to get into the routine of doing it. Because if you put the main objective first of lose as less money as possible, and then second objective, obviously making money, then, you know, as long as you hold on to your trading account as much as you can and avoid any heavy losses, or, you know, you try and make sure that you avoid losses as much as you can, then the profits are profits, aren't they? But yeah, we are falling off on Bitcoin a little bit. Obviously, yeah. I mean, it looks a bit hairy, doesn't it? It looks a bit hairy. I don't know. Afternoon, my good friend. How are you doing? Great to see you, Wiz. How are you doing, good sir? Oh, a bit of stretching. What you trading, mate? You got any longs on? Any shorts on? What have you got? What have you got going on? Hyper yourself. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Short on Bitcoin, Tau, and ETH. Okay. Very nice. Let's see what Hype's doing, actually. I covered the Hype thing at the start of the stream. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Obviously, I know. Been speaking to you about it, Wiz. It's interesting. But yeah, I mean, Hype is just consolidating, isn't it? Really, the main thing when you look at Hype is now it's got clear areas here. So you've got clear supply. You've got a clear point of supply. So this is a supply zone. You've also now got clear demand. Obviously, when price come down, this is where it rounded off. Didn't go to new lows. It rounded off here. Created the origin of the push up. We then obviously retested this area yesterday. So anything in between these 2 points, I'd say you're just kind of in no man's land. If you're looking for like the high probability trade anyway. You want to watch, obviously you're short on Hype, Wiz, so we want, for your trade, we obviously want it to come back down towards demand. And again, you know, potentially come back down towards demand. If we hold, yeah, and probably another bounce is coming. If we drop below, then obviously we're going to fresh lows, and, you know, who knows how low the price could tumble. Again, you know, we push up into supply, maybe potentially reject, come back down. Or if we get above supply, then we're probably heading towards the monthly open. This sort of consolidation period here makes a lot of sense. Obviously tied in with the monthly open as well. So, yeah, pretty straightforward on hype, I think. Really easy to look at and just go, well, that's clear supply, that's clear demand. What's in the middle? Who knows? Because, you know, any piece of news could land at any moment, couldn't it? And just send the chart one way or another. Not in a hype trade. Oh, sorry. Yeah. You said hyper, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're not in a hype trade, are you? But you got entries at 11. Yeah, I know why you've got entries at 11. Yeah, I know why you got entries at 11. 11's potentially a magic number for hype. It might be. Again, you know, there's no certainty because we'd be entering new lows at that point, but it might be a magic number for hype. From what information we was able to find out. But yeah, you're short on... So let's have a look. Obviously, ETH, I know why you're short on ETH. Weak in the market. I'll be honest. I think ETH potentially... Well, I mean, again, ETH is just so clear. You can look at every chart, you know, Bitcoin, ETH, you know, hype, whatever. Every chart is pretty clear. So, you know, you look at ETH, you go, okay, we had an SR test here. What do we want? Well, if we come down, ETH needs to hold upon another test. If it falls back into the range, you target the range low. That's obviously upon retesting this zone. I think if it's going to go up, obviously it needs Bitcoin to drag it there. We'll then come into contact with the trend line again. From that point, we'll either reject off or we'll get above the trend line, and then potentially maybe we go and again aim for the highs like we do on Bitcoin. Maybe run a full sweep. Now, whether that's a breakout higher, obviously depends on what Bitcoin does, or maybe that is just a liquidity sweep to head back down. But again, you know, you can just look at something like ETH and just go, right, okay. Pretty easy to see what it will do if it goes where. Now, the high probability trades at the moment are not showing themselves. No, again, you'd be waiting for a test of here to see if we hold or break below. Test on the trend line. Do we reject? Do we get above? So, but yeah, so easy to plan for. Afternoon, Chief. I had a teensy result in going long on ETH, then short, just as it changed. I could get good at this. Did I say I meant lucky? Yes, Gary. How are you doing, mate? Great to see you. Well, mate, as long as you're making money and you know how you're doing it, doesn't matter. You make your own luck, don't you? You make your own luck, so... Most of ETH short closed. Very nice. Very nice, Wiz. You're doing that thing that's in your name, isn't it? You're making money from thin air. Being the wizard. So you was looking at Tau as well. Yeah, I mean, I think this is just pretty straightforward on ETH from here. So Tau's interesting, isn't it? Because I know I was looking at Tau on stream with Justin. I think it wasn't last time. I think it was the other day. Obviously, you had this kind of falling wedge on it if you know, into your patterns. Also, you could have just tied it into just a downtrend. But really what was important on Tau was this. So, you know, very clearly at high time frame support on the weekly when it was down here. It's bounced a little bit since. But, you know, you can see pretty clear that this region is just so key for the price. You know, you've got resistance, flip to support, support, back to resistance, back to support, fall off. But yeah, very nice, mate. I hope you make a pretty penny on it. I hope you make a pretty penny on it. Loki says Bitcoin is looking good for a push back up. Let's go and see what Bitcoin's been doing while I've been looking at others. Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably just going to do what we talked about before. As long as this stays steady, and obviously the S&P now is obviously pushing up. So as long as we don't get anything erratic on that to the downside, and either, you know, maybe it consolidates or maybe it even pushes up. But as long as there's nothing erratic to the downside, I think, you know, given obviously we tested the lower end of the channel as well, and, you know, we obviously swept yesterday's low and held. So at the moment, that's a swing failure pattern. I think we're good to start, yeah, potentially making a run towards the top end of the channel, which then maybe brings this along. Breakout, start running all these stops above, because you look at for anyone who missed it, looked at the daily. You know, you look at the daily. Let's maybe look on here, yeah. So you've got obviously the high, day after, lower high, day after, lower high, today, lower high. So you've just got now just this constant, you know, this big build-up of stops and liquidity above these wicks because, you know, they haven't been swept. You know, that didn't sweep the day before, that didn't sweep the day before, that didn't sweep the day before. So there's been no liquidity sweeps or stop runs at all to the upside. So I think, yeah, I mean, as long as... Oh, what was that doing then? Just depends, doesn't it? Just depends if we hold the channel or not. You just got to have a plan, haven't you? You know, you have a plan to do whatever both ways. For if it comes down or goes up, just have a plan in place. Taking a few small longs on the list I shared earlier. The low flows. Yeah, I was looking at some of them before. So I was looking at Myro. Obviously, Myro was the next one up, wasn't it? So Myro is actually like... To be fair, the risk reward on Myro is quite good, isn't it? Because... Did I keep it on the thing now? It's at like the very, very bottom of when it listed on MEXC. So if we have a look... Obviously, right back to the origin on MEXC before it pumped. So, yeah, I mean, the risk reward appears to be quite all right, doesn't it? And again, you know, if there's any funny business, so for anyone wanting to know exactly why we're looking at Myro, so after the Jelly incident yesterday on Hyperliquid, the next ones, so this is going from lowest to highest in terms of market cap, that are available on Hyperliquid is Myro, which we've just obviously looked at, Nero on ETH. Then you've got one called Catty, RDNT, Lister, Ace, MAV, NTRN, OGN, and then obviously it's going a bit higher in market cap. But Myro is the next lowest one by about 10 million as well. At the time of that thing was put together anyway. So maybe whoever targeted Jelly on Hyperliquid yesterday is going to look for the next one. Potentially, you know, obviously there's no guarantees that they even do another attempt on it, but maybe the next one could be Myro that they target because that is the next lowest one, which in theory obviously would be the next easiest one to push around. Which could see, you know, I mean, if we get another Jelly thing. Jelly went up to about 5x, didn't it? So, you know, do we see maybe even move your tag of the yearly open? That'd be 250%. Who knows? Maybe worth a gamble. But that's what it is, and that's what it'd be considered as pretty much gambling. Let's go see what Bitcoin's doing. Yeah, we are pretty much just holding now, aren't we? Looks like it's doing a bit of low time frame consolidation. It's doing a bit of low time frame consolidation. But yeah, what when do you next want to come on stream with? It's obviously up to you, my friend, but yeah, the door is obviously always open. When do you next want to come on stream? Let me know. Right. Well, we aren't looking like we're getting too much now. I think everything's kind of steadied off, hasn't it? For the time being, anyway. For the time being. No doubt we're going to get some more volatility today at some point. But everything, let's have a look. Should we have a look through the top 100 and see if there's anything out there that's performing differently today? Anything on its own? Obviously, Toncoin we've looked at. Pi we've looked at. Hyperliquid we've looked at. Anything? Celestia we've looked at. Moves down 4.66%, up 8% on the week. So Move obviously had that to do with when the market maker on Binance sold Move tokens without providing buying liquidity. So it is due to get about $38 million of buying pressure at some point, if it's not had any already anyway. Maker's up quite nice. MKR up quite nice, 5% today. Bonk's down 6%. Curve's up 9%. Yeah, are we going to get that squeeze up on Bitcoin now? Been thinking about gaming sector. Thoughts on Ronin? Oh, gaming's. I mean, you don't really hear of anyone mentioning gaming anymore, do you? Let's see, Ronin. Let's get a chart that might have. No. Well, maybe one of these charts might have. Let's see. Is this a newly launched coin? Yeah, it's newly launched, isn't it? By the looks of it. The problem is, I don't know if there's any more price history on this or not, but where do you buy something like this? The problem is there's nowhere to buy, is there? Because it's just, it looks, unless, I mean, if you know of a chart where there is actually some price history to the left that we can look at. But, you know, if you're looking at this as a chart, where do you buy? Because it just keeps going to new lows, doesn't it? So, you know, what's stopping it potentially just carrying on going down? You need to see some sort of base form. So you need to see, like, it actually put in a low and demand come in whenever it tries to push to the downside further. So, potentially, maybe come down, retest around that area, bounce, come up. Obviously, it'll find resistance somewhere. Let's just say it's here, and then pretty much just trade in a range, form a base, exactly what that is. And then as long as it does that, you've got some point of invalidation. You go, right, okay, it looks like this is where demand is. So I'm going to buy some. And if it starts breaking, below 50, 60, 55, whatever, I'm going to cut it as a loss. But at the moment, where do you buy and where is the point of invalidation? Ooh. Where's the point of invalidation? You know what you buy? You could buy here and sell on a drop below, this wick if it carries on going down potentially. But in terms of the gaming sector, it's weird, isn't it? Because it's never really had a run at all, this cycle gaming. So maybe it just doesn't. I don't know. But there are ones that will trade alongside the market. So if we look at, say, something like Sand, if we look at Sandbox, I imagine if we look on the daily chart, yeah, so something like Sand, even though it's tied into, gaming or metaverse, well, it's pretty much the same thing, innit? Metaverse is gaming. It's pretty much just tied into the rest of the market. So, obviously it had a big fall off, but you'll notice, the time that Bitcoin has had this push up is the time that Sand has been moving up. So if we look at something like Sand and say, maybe something like Say, obviously similar sort of patterns, big fall off, and then just been moving up alongside Bitcoin. LDO, big fall off, moving up alongside Bitcoin. What else? Inge, big fall off. Very similar patterns, aren't they, to Sand? So maybe, something like Sand, obviously you've got something that is quite correlated to the market because obviously it's a large cap. But also if gaming does get a push, maybe you've got then also that narrative that maybe drives it a good couple of X. But I don't know. In terms of just gaming overall, I have no idea. My advice is, unless you're absolutely certain on an alt, stick to Bitcoin and large caps. Ultimately, none of these alts will move until Bitcoin does. Yeah, that's it, innit? Yeah, like large caps, no matter what kind of sector it is, it will move alongside the market with Bitcoin. The small caps are the ones where you need the kind of narrative push or need them to do something significant or whatever it is. Be flavor of the month or flavor of the week. I don't know. I mean, yeah. It's not even... That wasn't even just pinpointed at Ronin. It was just looking at a chart and just saying if something's going to new lows and it hasn't built an accumulation range or base, then where do you buy and where's your point of invalidation? Because what's stopping it dropping another 20, 30, 40, 50%? But yeah, I mean, big thank you to everyone who's joined today. I appreciate every single one of you. Before anyone goes, do make sure you drop a big like on the stream, subscribe. We've obviously covered a lot of Bitcoin, looking at the potential for it to bounce from here, and if it drops first, where we could be looking for a bounce. If we push up, where we could be looking for, liquidity sweeps, maybe carrying on momentum, maybe, looking for a short, whatever. Obviously, Stonksy's been absolutely mega in catching these moves of recent. So if you do want to try Stonksy, you can get that with 20% off. Again, second link in the description. The code is next to it as well, code BOT20. That'll get you 20% off your first month. Come and try us for a month. If you do want to pay in crypto, click the email button that's under the plans. Just email in, say you want to try the month, you want to use BOT20, and you want to pay with whatever crypto on whatever chain. But yeah, superb discount that's running at the moment. So if you have been watching my streams or, you've been looking at TMG using it or whatever, now is the chance to, take advantage of that and try it at a discount for a month. But it's interesting. We'll see what the S&P 500 does. Again, like we mentioned, if that provides some stability or even upside action, we could see Bitcoin get that push up and come and look to take out these stops and the highs above. Also got some things that are moving on their own, like Ton, Sui, a few others. But overall, yeah, pretty much Bitcoin's just trading in a channel or a range, whatever you want to call it. And we'll see, hopefully, we'll have a breakout either side by the time we stream tomorrow, whether it be upside or downside. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. So whether we do something like this, obviously come up, retest the top of the channel, and then break to the upside, looking to take out obviously these highs, that high, eventually this high. Or, you know, maybe if for whatever reason we fall off, come down, close the CME gap, come back into this crucial monthly open / mid 84k zone, and then potentially bounce again. But that's all for me today. Big thank you for joining. If you do want to take any trades, you can find the BLOFIN link in the description as well. Non-KYC, best exchange for you to trade on. But that's all for me today. Take it easy, and I'll catch you all for tomorrow's end of week stream, big Friday stream. So we'll see what's going on then. Take care, and catch you tomorrow.